Today is the day. Today is the season finale, and I'm here with all of my GEO arms and Tequila Shabazz, who is the general and also known as a social entrepreneur. So let's go back and help break down for those, because I have a lot of listeners, and I have a great range of age, that are watching, and they may not understand what is social entrepreneur.
Okay. A social entrepreneur is a business-minded individual that does community-type work, community-based work. So
Gotcha.
Our work is all about a cause, but we use a business model in order to make it happen. So again, not depending on the grants and things of that nature.
Right. Now, see, I'm glad I asked, because somebody might have thought social as in social media.
Yep.
But that's
Yep.
not what this is. This is
not.
social as in social
justice.
work,
Yep.
social justice,
Mhm.
community,
Yep.
others, and helping everybody else.
Yep. And it's so critical, because very similar to like an artist, right? You have this starving artist. When
Right.
people hear activists or see activists, they think we're supposed to be broke down, wearing leather, got our guns. All these
Black Panther.
misconceptions, right? All these misconceptions with activism. But today, especially in a time when we're talking about economic empowerment, we have to keep in mind that activism, as my good friends say, that black power is the new business, or business is the new black power.
Yes. And so you consider Bridge Embassy?
Yes, the Bridge Embassy for Black America.
For Black America.
Yes.
And so that's the name of the company now.
That's the name of the company, which we call the Embassy, because and we decided to go that route because when you look around, every group of people have an embassy that protects their best interests, represents, supports, and builds in their best interests, no matter where they are in the world. And so if we are fighting against a system that we say is unfair to us, then where's our embassy? Where's our protection? Where's our representation and our support? So we went that direction with the Bridge Embassy for Black America, to let people know that we're here to represent, support, and build and protect the best interest of our people.
Now, the group of individuals that you have collectively working with you, are they millennials? Are they Gen X's? Are they everybody? I mean, like,
everybody?
everybody?
That's my MO. Like, I attract people from all walks of life, right? So I have our group is between 18 and I'm gonna say 65. Okay, it's across the board.
Okay,
but I'm gonna say the great majority of us are probably Gen X. Women, 65% are women that are involved with this, and I'm going to say that the average age is about 34, 35.
About 35.
But I have a lot of millennials that I mentor and that work with me. I have a lot of people that are Gen X that are working with me, and then I have the elders, of course, there to keep us all in check.
Right, to teach you, right?
Yep.
Because you, this movement would seem like a new movement or rebirth, say, of civil rights acts from 64, right? So this is like a rebirth of what our ancestors started and were doing, and then we got complacent and believed that everything was good, but now realize that it really has just been lying dormant, or things were happening regardless. But then now with social media, you can't hide it.
You can't hide it, and I think I love that you use rebirth, because a lot of times, especially our millennials, and I know my millennials gonna be like, she always getting on us, but there is a sense of entitlement, and there's a sense that we're just starting this.
No,
we just doing this. No, there's centuries of groundwork that has been laid for you in order to do this work. So that's the first thing, is that we have to remember from where we've come from. And I think right now, like you said, there is a rebirth, and what I tell people is to just stop for a second and remember the basics. We've gotten so much education. We've gotten so much access.
We fought a lot for education.
A lot. We've gotten a lot.
Yeah.
But in 50 years, right after the signing of the Civil Rights Act, what you'll see is a complete depletion of our resources. So an increase in our education and our access, but a depletion in our overall capital for our communities at large.
And how is that?
What do you mean? How is that?
Well, like when you say that the signing of that did.
Oh,
yeah, and then what specifics or what kind of references can you make to say just to share with everybody?
Yes.
With those thoughts.
So if we go back to even 1864, 50 years. 1864 is emancipation. 50 years after emancipation. There we hear a lot about Black Wall Street,
right.
But there were actually 200 Black owned and founded towns that were just like a Black Wall Street, right?
Gotcha.
Robbins, Illinois was one of those towns. Now when you go to examine these particular towns today, Robbins, Illinois, we can look at it and we see the state of that community right now, completely impoverished. Idlewild, completely impoverished. When we look at the number of farmers that we had back then, it represented the percentage of Black people in this country, about 14%. Now we have under 1% of Black farmers. When you look at the number of Black businesses that we had and their wealth, I mean, look, we just lost Seaway.
Yes.
Okay, think about that for a second. We just lost Seaway Bank, which was developed and built during the time right after the Great Migration.
So I get what you're saying now. So what you're saying is that before that, we had all these businesses that we were supporting,
That's correct.
that we were growing,
That's correct.
you know, and that we were a part of. And then now when you got to get what everybody else had,
right.
Then now you've left them by the wayside, and then we forgot. We want what everybody else
That's
had.
Right.
We wanted to be like the Joneses.
That's right.
We wanted those things, and in doing so, we've left our people.
We've left our people. And
Gotcha.
We're at ground zero. Even though on the surface, you know, you're going to see us riding around in Benz and we can stay at Trump Tower. I'm saying that, you know.
I don't even know why. Yes.
Because that's how crazy it is. That's kind of the moves we're making are so crazy that we have made every excuse to why we can't support each other.
Gotcha. Now, so you talk to not only individuals, but businesses and institutions with regards to developing practical solutions for what now?
Okay, so, and I'm glad that you brought that up because a lot of times I am lumped in and I am an aspect of it with the Buy Black movement, which is really what we hear a lot of when we hear about organizing today is Buy Black.
Well, I see you all are loving what she's talking about, but we're going to have to take a quick break and we're going to come back and pick up right there where you are. I am in the studio. This is Bertina Power, and you are listening to Empower Hour on Urban Broadcast Media with Miss Tequila Shabazz, the social entrepreneur, also known as the General. We'll be right back after these messages.